Hi everybody, it's Jeff, and welcome back to another shower vlog. This one really should be called a shower rant, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rant to you guys about some of my pet peeves, and I bet that a lot of you guys out there, you're going to feel the exact same way about some of these things that I do. Let's start with vocabulary. Now, I ain't no grammar Nazi. See what I did right there? I bet a lot of you are pissed off that I just used the word ain't. But there's no such thing as the word height. It's height. Yes, I know, there's a width, there's a length, but there's no height, okay? So stop using it. Okay, I know some of you out there are saying, but Jeff, people like Shakespeare and Charles Dickens use the word height. It's perfectly acceptable. It's 19th century historic English. We should bring it back. Smallpox existed once too. Should we bring that back? Well, I'll just start calling my pants britches and put on my galoshes to go drive my jalopy to pick up my date and take her to that picture show because we're courting. Yeah, see what I mean? Height, gone. Stop using it. The next one is actually a pet peeve for myself, like something that I do that I have a pet peeve about. I know it's kind of weird, right? But I'm so conditioned that I respond to a lot of things with "you too," such as if somebody says, "Hey, have a nice day," and I'm like, "Yeah, you too." You know, it's a polite thing to do. The problem is it's conditioned in my mind, and I sometimes say it in inappropriate situations. Like I'll be at a restaurant, and the waiter will bring me my food, and they'll be like, "Enjoy your meal," and I'll be like, "You too." I mean, the problem is the waiter's not enjoying any meal. I'm just really conditioned to say that, but I just feel really dumb because it shows that I really wasn't listening to what they were saying, and they probably feel that too, and nobody really knows how to respond to that. You're just like that awkward laugh, like, haha, yeah, I'll enjoy my meal while I'm back here behind the counter serving all you asshole customers. I mean, once I was going to this concert and I bought tickets, and the person behind the ticket counter was like, "Enjoy the show," and I was like, "You too." And then I really feel like a dick because it's almost like I'm rubbing it in their face that they can't go to the show. I mean, luckily the show was actually U2. I was seeing U2 in concert, so it just made me look like I was really excited. They were like, "Enjoy the show," and I was like, "You too." No, really, I've never seen U2 in concert, but it would have been pretty funny if that is the way it worked out. Another one here, when you're walking down the hallway, leave enough room for other people to get by, especially if you're walking next to somebody else and you're having a conversation. The hallway is only so big. You don't need to spread out across the entire hallway. It's like I can't stand it when I'm walking down the hall and I see these people in the distance that are walking across the entire hallway, and I'm on a mission to get somewhere, and I'm going, and I get stuck behind them walking really slowly behind them. Luckily, my saving grace, in the distance, I see that person who's walking up the opposite direction, and I'm like, okay, they're going to move to the side. I'm going to be able to let this person by, and I'm like, okay, they're going to move to the side to let this person by. I'm going to be able to sneak my way right past them. It's my break. I'm going to do it. You know, ready, set, go. And really what happens is they move over just enough in order to let that person squeeze by and immediately expand back out to be like king of the hallway posture that they've been having the whole time. Sure, you can just say, "Excuse me," but you really shouldn't have to do that. Be aware of your surroundings. The same thing goes for sidewalks. Sidewalks are even smaller than a hallway. So if you're walking with somebody side by side on the sidewalk, have some situational awareness to know who's coming and who's going, because don't be that person or those people who block the entire sidewalk. If I have to step off the sidewalk to go on the grass to go around you, or worse yet, if I'm coming from the opposite direction and you don't even move over enough to let me by where I have to still get off the sidewalk and walk around you guys, there's just no excuse to that. So rude. Look, I love salads. They're like these delicious bowls of healthy goodness, all these vegetables and lettuce all mixed together. So good. Just a good salad it's so easy, so simple, yet so elegant at the same time. But what I hate is those places that you go to that make the salad right in front of you per request, and you pretty much point out the toppings that you want and they make it right in front of you there, like just like at my cafeteria at work. And I'm just like, oh yeah, some tomatoes, some eggs, some green peppers, you know, etc., etc., etc. You end up with this delicious bowl of so much good stuff. But what I really hate is, why do they sometimes decide that when you're making a salad right in front of a customer, that you want everything cordoned off and separated? Like when they put the cucumbers in one corner of the dish, and then they put the tomatoes in the other corner of the dish, and then the onions in the other corner of the dish. Why would I want a salad like that? I want my salad all mixed together, not all cordoned off, not like this. Look at the salad. Look at the salad. I got my cucumbers, I got my onions, I got my tomatoes, I got my peppers. What am I supposed to do with this? Am I supposed to eat the salad like, this is a delicious onion salad. Well, let's try the cucumber salad that's over here. It's like 4 different salads in one bowl. Come on. Good cucumber. Don't keep them all separated like that. I want my salad, everything all mixed together. I want a little bite of everything on every stab of the fork. That's what the point of the salad is. Don't separate them out like that. I know you guys are saying, oh, but Jeff, you can just mix the salad together. Go sit at your table and mix that salad around. You can mix it to your heart's content. Oh, come on. Have you ever really tried to mix a properly made salad? All you end up doing is spilling half the crap on the outside. It's all over the table, and you usually lose at least half of the croutons, which are the best part of the salad, in my opinion. It's just a terrible scenario. Just make it right the first time. Who went to a salad making school where they were like, everybody likes their salads all sectioned off, the things can't touch, everything can't touch? People who eat salads are like 4-year-olds. They can't have their food touching each other. A salad is everything mixed together. It'd be like getting a burrito and having it come with everything, like this part of the burrito is the tomatoes, this part is the beans, this part is the rice. No, that's not how it works. They layer them like this and then you roll it because then it mixes it all together. They don't layer it vertically, so when you go to eat it, it's just a different layer of everything. Oh, God, so annoying. And then there's traffic. Now, I live in DC, so I might be a little bit biased on this, and I might experience a little different things than some of you guys out there experience, but pedestrians. I understand you have the right of way at a crosswalk. When you're crossing one of those crosswalks, though, that doesn't have a stoplight and just has that little sign that says cars need to stop if pedestrian is in the crosswalk, you really need to look both ways before you step into that street and make sure the other cars are stopping. It's not even just a pet peeve. That's more of a PSA to you guys, because you don't know how many times I've been driving through the city and seen a pedestrian almost get taken out by cars because either the cars weren't paying attention or the cars just didn't even see them. The person came darting out so fast, they didn't see them coming around off the crosswalk. Just be careful, you're gonna get yourself killed. But at other times, if you're using a crosswalk that's actually at one of those stoplights, unless there's a medical reason or some other reason to do so, please don't walk as slowly as you possibly can across that crosswalk. The through traffic might have a red light so that you can go straight, but there is the other direction of traffic, usually has a green light, and there's usually cars waiting to turn that, as long as you're lucky, have seen you going through the intersection and have stopped and are waiting for you to cross. And I have missed so many light cycles because I'm waiting to turn right, and there's like one random pedestrian who's just walking in the crosswalk, stop, take a look at their phone for a minute, I'll bend down, tie their shoe. I watched them bend down and tie their shoe in the middle of the crosswalk while I was waiting to turn. Again, situational awareness, and don't purposely go slowly across the crosswalk. You're just pissing everybody off for no reason. Oh, and by the way, pedestrians, again on the crosswalk thing, if that blinking hand has started to flash, unless you're going to hurry across that crosswalk because you know you're almost at the end of your cycle, don't get into the crosswalk and then still walk as slowly as possible across the crosswalk. A lot of people for some reason think that if I entered the crosswalk when I still had the right of way, that I can meander as long as I want to through there. Even when the green light comes for this traffic here, they have to wait for me, which technically is probably legally true. But for one, why do you want to risk it? And for two, what's the purpose of just wasting all that time, wasting everybody else's time? Just get across the crosswalk in a timely fashion. That's all there is to it. Oh, and don't even get me started on bikers. And no, I'm not talking about motorcycles. I'm talking about, your pedal bicyclists who are on the road. I know, share the road, that's what it is. But when you're stuck behind a bicycle who's in the lane because they're allowed to be in the lane, they have the ability to be in that lane, and you are just sitting there going slowly because there's oncoming traffic, you can't get around them, and you finally get your chance and you finally get around that bicycle, you inevitably are stopped by a red light. What happens when you're at that red light? You look in your mirror and you see that bicyclist just weaving in and out of cars to get right up next to you at the front of the line, or even in front of you, or better yet, when they just go through the red light because somehow the rules of the road don't apply to them. Finally, your light turns green, you go, at the other side of the intersection, you're stuck in the exact same situation you just got yourself out of. All because this bicyclist, who wants to share the road and demands that they're allowed to be in that lane, but they don't follow the rules of the road and the laws of the road that they're supposed to when they're sharing the road. Here's the deal. If you can't follow the rules of the road, you can't follow the law, quit demanding that we share the road with you, and then quit complaining when you almost got sideswiped because a car was turning right and you decided to pass them on the right from 3 cars back without even slowing down. That is not the car's fault. I'm sorry. When a car is turning right and you decide to pass them on the right, you cannot blame that on the car. But it's not just the cyclists and it's not just the pedestrians that piss me off. It's other drivers too. We have signs here in BC that say don't block the box. I don't know if you've ever seen those. What they mean is don't get in the intersection. What really pisses me off is if somebody wants to make sure they don't have to wait for another light cycle, they somehow think it's okay to get into the intersection and stop behind that line of cars that's there. Instead of waiting 5 feet back through that light cycle, they're now waiting in the lanes of oncoming traffic. If you get stuck in the intersection because you were trying to get through, but the traffic didn't move and the line of cars made you stop in front of me, so I can't go through during my light cycle because I have a green light, but you're not moving, and I'm stuck sitting there waiting for absolutely no reason other than you decided you couldn't wait for another light cycle, despite the fact that you're sitting right there in front of me, 5 feet away from you just started. If you find yourself in that situation, then don't get pissed off at me when I make obscene gestures at you and I start to inch my car forward just enough to show you what a dick you're actually being on the road. Oh, and when an ambulance comes down the road and everybody's moving over to that right lane to let the ambulance have a lane through, don't be that dick who decides that if you can pull out right behind the ambulance, that gives you free ride to follow that ambulance like a blocker down the street and not let everybody else get back into their rightful place in line. I have no idea what makes you think that you're more important than everybody else all of a sudden because you were able to get right behind that ambulance and ride that bumper so that nobody else could get in between you guys. Just remember, you aren't that f***ing important. So just back the f*** off and treat other people on the road with the same respect that you think you deserve. Alright guys, anyways, that's it for today. A lot of my pet peeves on this shower vlog / shower rant, so I hope you enjoyed. Tell me in the comments some of your pet peeves, some of your rants. I'd like to hear what you think about mine. Alright, and until next time, see you later.